Welcome back to another Seattle Seahawks review, where the Seattle Seahawks played against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, where they faced off in a game that was kind of bizarre in a sense, but it seemed like a game that was possibly going to happen just because of the nature of the Seahawks and who they are. At times, they have games where they just don't go their way, and this was one of them. The Seahawks fall to 7-3-1 on the year. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers moved to 6-5 on the season, winning back-to-back weeks against the Kansas City Chiefs, who just won against the Broncos yesterday. And now they beat the Seahawks, two really stellar teams, and the Buccaneers are looking pretty good here in the home stretch or the last stretch of the season, as they have only 5 games left, just like the Seahawks. Both teams are in pretty good spots to make a playoff spot. I don't think the Buccaneers are exactly in the playoffs if the season ended today, but I could be wrong. Let's just talk about what went wrong yesterday, on Sunday for the Seattle Seahawks. The offensive line played its worst game of the year, where they allowed 6 sacks on Russell Wilson, and boy was it tough for him. He was 17 of 33, no touchdown passes, and 2 interceptions. When he had time, he wasn't able to make the plays, and when he didn't have time, well, he wasn't able to make the plays either. It was a tough game overall, and the pressure got to him, which ended up making this game a long day for Seahawks fans and the Seattle Seahawks. It's not what their team is all about. Their team is not going to do this every week. This is, I think, more than just a little blunder in the schedule, and I think they'll get back on track next week when they face, I believe it is the Carolina Panthers. I could be wrong on who they are facing next week, but I'm pretty sure it is the Panthers. So that'll be a tough game, but I think they'll get back on track, considering that this team is not going to allow this to kind of shut them down in a sense. They've done this before. They've had games where they were just absolutely not good whatsoever, and they've done it for the 3rd time this season. In 3 games this year, they played against the Rams, which they scored 3 points, 6 with the Cardinals, and 5 against the Buccaneers. So you can see the Seahawks have had 3 games this year that have not gone their way whatsoever. But then they've had games where they have been stellar. They defeated the Philadelphia Eagles in great fashion. Then they defeated the Patriots. I mean, they have some good wins on the schedule, but they have some really bad or poor losses, I shall say. And, I mean, they didn't lose the game against the Cardinals, but both teams should have lost that game. And it ended in a tie, of course. But, man, that game was crazy. The Seahawks, they shouldn't panic. I don't think there's really any panic. They're still 3 games ahead in the NFC West. They didn't really move down or move up. I mean, they're 3 games away. They just need to win 3 of their next 5. They clinch the NFC West. I do think they still have a chance at the NFC title or the NFC number 1 seed, but it's going to be very difficult with a Dallas Cowboys team with 10 wins and 3 wins away from clinching that spot. I believe they do have the Giants still that could possibly get it as well. There's a few other teams, but going back to the Seahawks and what they can fix for next week, it really just starts with the O-line. The O-line has to play better. It's that simple. Defense, they started out scruffy at the start. They didn't play too well at the start. 2 touchdowns, 2 drives. But then they tightened, didn't give up a touchdown rest of the way. 3rd downs for the Seattle Seahawks offense, absolutely terrible. 1 of 11. If you don't count the last 2 minutes of the football game, they're 0 of 10. It was not good whatsoever for that offense. They definitely have to fix it next week if they're going to want to beat Carolina. But you have to give credit where credit is due. And the Buccaneers played better than the Seahawks in every facet of the game. And that is why they won this football game. Hopefully the Seahawks can bounce back. Let me know your thoughts and opinion on the football game. But what do you think can go better? I mean, overall, there's a lot of key areas that I could have focused on more, but I just wanted to give you guys a quick recap of the game and what went wrong for the Seattle Seahawks. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, leave a like, a comment, and if you are new here, go ahead and click that subscribe button. Let me know your thoughts and opinions on the football game, and what do you think the Seahawks can do better next week when they face a tough opponent in the Carolina Panthers. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I shall see you in the next one.